We'll forge our destinies.
Hello, YouTube? Yeah, this is a bit weird even for me. Alright, let's see what we got. Shall we, folks? If you are a YouTube watcher and you, like, don't come to Twitch streams, and that's fine if you don't, say something in chat out of curiosity. Like the pure YouTube watchers. If you are a pure YouTuber, well, I mean like a YouTube person, let me know in chat right now, just out of curiosity. Because yeah, this is unprecedented, of course. So I'm just curious who's here like a non-Twitcher. And that's totally fine. That's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Is this chaos season for streaming? I can't connect to Twitch right now. The servers are down. So here we are on YouTube, and that's totally fine. I'm totally here to try it out. If it's a good time, then we'll do it again. It's all good to me. Anyways. Hello, chat. YouTube, of course. Things can be a bit weird because I think on the far left, the events, the bottom left event thing is like a Twitch thing, and the chat under me tends to be a Twitch thing. So those are just not going to work right now. And even the sub and the cheer things don't make sense at all right now. So I'm going to have to clean up my layout a little bit just to make things better. The schedule's not done. So just hang with me for a moment, folks, to just make things a bit more cleaner. Let's see what we got. Alright, so the event box can go. That doesn't make any sense. Twitch chat doesn't exist, so there's not going to be a chat below me, or at least I don't know how to set that up right now, because again, I wasn't really banking on this. So we're just going to kind of get rid of everything. Oh, that's actually part of the layout, so I can't even get rid of it. It's just kind of there. What is this, more specifically casual streaming or something special? No, it's just like Twitch servers are having some trouble, so here we are on YouTube. It's really as simple as that. I could probably run a slightly different layout. Let's see. Just go to a standard blackboard, I guess. Because all this stuff doesn't make any sense. So I'm just gonna fix up the layout. Hold with me for a moment, and we'll get into the good stuff. Okay, there's a literal blackboard on the screen right now. Let's get that further down. Get the overlay out of here. Let's get my face moved a little bit. Okay, this isn't really going to be the cleanest of layouts because it is what it is. Doesn't matter really. I can kind of line up things like that. Yeah. I'll still keep my schedule there. I think that's fine. Okay. If I come back to YouTube, I'll make sure the schedule makes more sense. Right now it doesn't really make any sense, the layout and whatnot. I will take a look at the chat in a moment as well. I'm just trying to make things look prettier. So hold with me. Okay, we got another blackboard. Blackboards are always good. Whoa, too big, too big. If you guys didn't notice, I am not a graphic designer. So this is on-the-spot design. Great work. Next up, I'll pull out the paintbrush and start painting on the left side of the screen. It's not even really symmetrical or anything. But again, we're just here to play some Fire Emblem Heroes. Nothing more. Sure, that's what we'll go with. Alright, blackboards are good. Heroes is good. I don't know what we'll do with the left side. Alright, catch up on chat. Can't see what's on the board. Can you zoom in further? Yes. What questions did I miss? So, welcome to everyone who's pretty much a YouTube watcher, or just a YouTube person, doesn't come to Twitch. That's totally fine. Good to be here. Twitch is still down, like the servers are not working when I tried to connect there. So circumstances are just literally bringing me here. That's what it is. Sort of keeping a pretty simple layout, nothing really special. I might fix it up for next time, but for the time being, here I am. So if you're new, just say hi and I'll welcome you. Domingo says, thank you for going out of your way to do this still, though I'm more experienced with YouTube, but I do watch your Twitch streams. Thanks, Domingo. Welcome on YouTube, and if anything, I welcome you on Odyssey as well. What's Odyssey? Is that something else? Either way, thanks for the welcome. Yugi Moto says, what did I miss? Teach with 8 orbs. I'm currently in the process of sparking Arcane Lift, the Arcane Sword. In fact, my whole like goals have changed to be sparking banners as opposed to saving orbs. I mean, it's saving orbs for sparking banners. So instead of like saving up 1,000 orbs and then gambling them on a legendary banner because I don't have Fed Pass, my kind of like new goal long term is to literally just spark banners, key banners, specifically remix banners, and picking up legendaries and mythic heroes as a means of account progression. So obviously, as I'm not Fed Pass and I'm F2P, there's, you know, these banners don't appeal to me in any way. There's no point in trying to gamble them. The legendary banners have just time and time again kicked my butt. So because of that, I don't want to gamble them, and instead I really want to work on the guarantee through the non-Fed Pass 40 summon to get a hero. In the case of Lif, I really like the idea of banking fodder on him, getting like Ruptured Sky and potentially Fury 4 or Distant Counter on him, and then when I get multiple copies through Future Sparks, which could happen on a remix banner, or likely this banner gets like revoted in through Twitter, then I can pick up another Lif and then kind of bank on that fodder and keep distributing it efficiently. So that's pretty awesome. It also gave me a great reason to invest into BK, which was literally my yesterday investment. I just recently, literally yesterday, built this guy up, and he is quite surprisingly effective. And you're gonna see that in today's stream. If you are a BK fan, or he's kind of just been sitting on the bench, well, he probably shouldn't be, because I'll show you today why he's pretty amazing. So yesterday, notably, he took down a Medius, taking like 0 damage, 1 damage from like a +10 Medius. This build will crush Medius. This build will crush a Note, because again, she doesn't benefit from like a bonus doubler. It's not even the arcane sword. I think the arcane sword's even better than this. Like the Alondite's kind of inefficient. So yeah, this is you might think like, oh, you lose Black Luna because you're using the arcane sword, but it's not that important. I've simmed it out, and stuff like Ruptured Sky works totally fine instead of running even Blue Flame, actually. So like Blue Flame or Ruptured Sky sim really well, so that all doesn't matter. This is my yesterday investment, so if you're a BK fan, then look forward to some pretty epic gaming here with BK. So I literally built him up yesterday. The other super carry that I paired him up with, this might come as a surprise or maybe some nostalgia for some of you, is my +10 Air, which has been a staple for years on this account and honestly on this channel. So if you are looking to maybe get some nostalgia, I misinterpreted, I think most people misinterpreted how awesome Air actually is. And not because of, like, I guess most people probably looked at Air as like a support unit, and she does totally fine in that role. But Lifia Berg is actually an amazing tanking weapon. Like, this weapon was designed to tank with. If you just read it clearly, you'll see why. So the base effect is 4 to all stats with a 25% HP condition. The unit initiates claws, but the second part here is if her speed is higher than the enemy, she has a deny follow-up effect, a worry fighter effect, whatever you want to call it. She just denies follow-ups. That's huge. That is a huge effect. On top of that, the base effect also has guard. So it's like all these really good effects on the base effect, and we haven't even gotten to the refine, which again, 3 spaces, really generous condition, additional 4 to all stats, so she's already getting 8 to all stats. And then the extra part here, which is why I have her summoner support. It's only got 1 summoner support, and I gave it to Air, which is 20% of her HP is an additional bonus to her attack and res. And her being at 48 HP means that she gets 9 additional attack and res, on top of the Lifia Berg's 8 to all stats, which pretty much means she gets 17 attack and 17 res. Now you combine that with attack res unity, the rain, the far trace, and you have Air, who's pretty tanky. I mean, she really realistically reaches the 60 plus res stat. She can tank bow units with IO shield. She has a great speed stat, and her attack, I think yesterday I noticed on the combat screen, it was like plus 54 attack when getting hit with a panic manner and a debuff on her attack. It was madness. Air goes to like the 100 attack stat. So she's an insanely good tank so far, and she can take like Chrom, for example, like dual Chrom, as long as he's not pre-charging Deadeye, which is kind of annoying, but it is there. So I've combined Air with BK, and so far, like the couple of games I played yesterday, I was thoroughly impressed with how they performed, and I'm really looking forward to doing that again today, so you guys can look forward to that. But yeah, that's basically catching up the... What is the Q&A command? Sorry, that does not exist because we don't have any commands here on YouTube, so my bad, that's just a habit. We're just going to dump stamina and knock out the dailies real quick, and then we'll jump into AR. Let's see. CMA says, nice to see you around here, Akariss. How are you? Hopefully we can see you more often here. Hey, CMA, good to be here. Thank you for the warm welcome. What did I spend my orbs on? So yeah, I just went over that. That was just me. I'm basically not a Fed Pass player, so as an F2P player, the goal is to spark mythic remixes or legendary remixes and create account progression that way. In fact, I'm pretty much, this is like my goal. I'm looking to create a second Air as core. As you can see, I'm just literally collecting Airs in my barracks. So she's at +1 right now, and with a couple of remixes where I can guarantee the Air copies, I am going to likely bench out Ashe, just going to completely replace her and replace her with a second Air, which is kind of great because that means that one Air can act as the carry, and then the second Air will run like Sparkling Boost Plus, which will buff up the res on BK and actually buff the other Air, which is great, an additional 5 res plus some healing. So honestly, I just prefer that. Ashe doesn't really do much for me other than opening Retainer and some mobility. So I could honestly just run a second Air with ground orders, and that almost accomplishes the same thing. Or Guidance, or Peony does pretty good as well with Gentle Dream. I never really... Ashe doesn't really do as much for me as I think she might do for others, but... So long term, like Air is one. I'm looking forward to the Yaltina remix, where I could likely replace Regan. And I recently sparked Thrasier and Duma for defense, but not too impactful, but again, guaranteeing those mythics and legendaries is really good, and the remix banners for a non-Fed Pass F2P player, that's where you get a lot of value, because you otherwise are pretty much gambling on legendary banners. Like this whole legendary Ninian coming up, it's a complete skip and pass for me because I'm just not a Fed Pass player. If you are a Fed Pass player though, it is valuable, it is good, and you likely should be sparking the legendary mythic banners if you care at all about your rankings at the end of the day. I would take advantage of both, actually. That's how I would play that. Another thing that I didn't actually mention when I was talking about Air is if I get another Floret and I really want to invest into air harder, I'm likely going to HP Ascend so that it gets even more synergy with the attack res portion here of the HP. And of course, HP works as a decent like tanking stat on top of that. So it's kind of a weird choice, but buffing up her HP with like an Ascended there would actually buff her attack, her res, and give her some extra bulk as well. So there's some nice synergy there with Lithia Berg. It's kind of a weird choice, but she's one of the more unique characters at the end of the day. Okay. What do we miss? Adrian says, didn't realize you stream on YouTube now. I don't know if I'm here for good, but I'm trying it out. I don't even have like a real layout here. Just Twitch servers were down. They still probably are down. So here we are on YouTube to do our usual stuff. Yeah. Alright, so let's just do our daily stuff. Get the crests out of the way, get our 100 feathers, check that we have our defense. We do have our defense taken care of. We do arena usually on Mondays, as I can get a good gauge for the cutoffs in arena, as we try to stay tier 21 every week. Don't I have Sea Duel lying around?
Akariss.
Yeah, I do actually have Sea Duel 4 lying around, but it's just not that impactful. I don't think that matters, like, at all. Since we're just kind of farming this out, I don't really need the animations there. And Edel fails anyways. Still gotta take care of 2 and get the 100 feathers. That's all that really matters. Sounds like plus speed, plus HP is ideal for air. Yeah, if you want to truly maximize her weapon effects, then speed and HP is ideal. I'm not likely going to be spending any fruits, but I do think those are the two best things there. You can see the other Twitch streamers being live right now because they were probably already live. It's just new connections don't seem to be working on their server.
Out of my way. Yes.
Canada can connect? Okay, yeah. So again, I don't really know. I couldn't connect, so it is what it is. That's why I'm here.
I love you all.
Okay.
Does HP is a super boon? Oh, that's pretty awesome then. So that would bring her to 52 HP. And 20% of that ends up being just... Well, it doesn't really matter, but it's good.
I'm okay.
Definitely solid. Either way, I don't really know where I ranked Air in my most recent like mythic tier list. But after using her this way, and with a competent near saver, I think she's... Once invested, she's legit. She can run into a Gale Force strat, she can run a tanking strat, and she can run a support set with Tamari. That is extreme flexibility, especially for like the first mythic ever released. If we're comparing Air to like Fjorm, where Fjorm is the first legendary, Air is like miles better than what Fjorm is. Fjorm is an absolute joke, and Air is amazing. Okay, and knock these out, just spend the stam real fast.
The finale.
We're not going to talk about
We'll see this through.
Sothis users.
I do not know. Quiet down.
Press F in chat
Your
for anybody that
command.
invested into Sothis.
Not so loud.
You guys will be saved by an arcane breath.
We'll see this through.
Shush. Quiet
So
down.
fun. We'll see this through.
Shush. Quiet down.
Phil's saying you gotta try out Bjorn's solo tank. She's my main tank at the moment in AR. I've done it a few times. I've also done Legendary Corrin as well. They're not terrible. You can make a lot of things work.
Looks like it's my turn. Choose your path.
Shush! Quiet down! At your command. We'll see this through.
You just have to hope they can redeem themselves with Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice is, in my opinion, the best near save tank in the game right now.
You're finished.
That's a pretty bold statement, but I genuinely think that Winter Solstice is actually the best near save tank currently in the game. Besides maybe Lucina, but I don't think Lucina has that as good of a matchup against Celev as Solstice does. Winter Solstice has an amazing matchup versus Brave Celev, who is an absolute nightmare to deal with on offense right now.
Not so loud.
At your command.
So if you're, I'm talking AR. I'm talking AR offense, guys. So not like Summoner Duels. It's totally different meta there. Not AR defense. Again, kind of a different meta, but maybe Solstice is okay there. I'm talking like strictly AR offense. Near save, best near save tank right now, IMO, is Winter Solstice. And the reason for that is pretty simple. She hits res, which Brave Celev doesn't have like anything of. She has Sirius, which gives healing, so it's very appreciated on the tank. It scales off speed. She has a great speed stat. She's due for a refine pretty soon, not too far away. And all of those combined with her just actually being pretty good, like a good attack and speed stat, the speed being the most relevant means she can actually compete with Brave Celev, and that is the biggest problem for a lot of near saves right now. Like, Ascended Adune gets rolled. I'm talking light season mostly here. Astra, you can kind of deal with it if you have Elamine and you can like shut down Celev, but in light season, there's like if you see a Brave Celev, you pretty much can't deal with that without certain super speedy units that can not only one-shot him on the retaliation, but double him back. So you have to retaliate and you got to kill him. There's not too many near save tanks or just melee tanks in general that can do that. That also have a pretty solid matchup across the board. So something like Winter Solstice still has a pretty decent matchup against Medius and Note, for example, in light season. My BK, which I just built up yesterday, seems to be doing pretty well, so I'm pretty excited to keep trying that out. And
we'll see this through.
He's not even, he hasn't even
do not
reached his
know.
max potential yet.
Shush! Quiet down!
Arden go Burr? I don't know if Arden actually one-shot Celev.
This way? Choose your
And one little problem, though, with Arden is you're going to run into a lot of Brave Celevs who run the Windsweep build, because, again, his C-skill is no follow-up. So Arden will do absolutely nothing against Windsweep. He just won't do anything. I'm sure post-Sims, though,
We'll see this through.
he might have builds where he can just one-shot Celev on the first hit and then kill him on the Brave second hit. But I'm kind of doubtful that he's going to do pretty well when you run into, like, the Windsweep variants. Like, that's going to be a pretty big problem. How do I feel about new Legendary Ninian? So I haven't, like, taken a look at her yet, so I can't really answer that question yet.
Shush! Quiet down!
Looks like it's my turn.
At your command.
I'm with you. Shh, not so loud.
We'll see this through.
Ascended Adune does not deal with Brave Celev. As Brave Celev, especially when he gets his max movement, has that 40% cut on defense. I forgot if it's true damage or not. I think it's true damage, but Ascended Adune just gets shredded by that huge movement boost he gets through his Clash and weapon. And then on top of that, he has no follow-up, so maybe some variant of Ascended Adune, like speed stacking, could beat Celev, but I think that's pretty hard to do. I think that's pretty difficult. Pirate Surtur? No, too slow. You cannot beat Celev with a slow armor. It just will not happen.
Shush! Quiet
So
down!
fun.
At your command.
I see. This way? Not so loud. Choose your
At your
path.
command.
That's why I said Winter
We'll see this
Solstice
through.
is in a good spot.
Looks like it's my turn.
Because she's fast, she has healing, she hits res. And she doesn't have really, like, her dragon weakness, which can present to be a little bit of a problem.
Shush!
I'm not convinced that a Winter Sothis with Far Save is good, though. Green armors with Far Save sounds like pretty much, if they're not named Ascended Fjorm, will just instantly die to Dual Crom, which you will see quite a bit of. Winter Manuela is an amazing near save tank as well, because of her speed at the end of the day.
Not so loud.
I do
This
not
way?
know. We'll see this through.
Do I think previous winter banners will have tickets or sparks this year because something like that happens, like special gift? I don't know about previous ones. I think they do like the year before with tickets, if I recall correctly. But somebody in chat can just correct me on that.
Shush!
I don't remember
So fun! At your command.
exactly
I'm with you.
what the rule on that stuff is. How's Winter Hilda as in your save? She can do it pretty well too. Like really, at the end of the day, the condition right now is that we're in kind of a speed meta for the near saves. For the melee and the ranged tanking situation is completely different. So if you're a melee tank or a near saver, you pretty much want speed. Speed is key because speed beats the most oppressive enemy on defense right now, which is Brave Seliph. Brave Seliph is a monster defense unit in Light Season, and we're going to see him quite a bit, and for good reason, because there's not a lot of units to deal with him. The way to beat Brave Seliph is to pretty much on Asher Season, you just completely shut down his effect with Elamine, and that works really well. You can just use whoever you want. But in Light Season, there is no option to false start that, so you pretty much have to deal with Seliph. And the best way to do it, of course, is just outspeed him, which is kind of difficult considering he has attack speed Clash 4, neutralizes penalties, has attack speed 6 built into his like C skill, has his weapon giving him additional attack speed. He pretty much reaches like the 50-60 speeds, no problem. So you need some super fast melee tank to beat that. That's why I don't like stuff like Ashe right now. That's why I don't like stuff like Ascended Adune or Vector is near saves, or obviously Brave Edelgard, because they might be able to tank a hit. They might be able to actually, like, maybe tank a hit or two, but at the end of the day, they're going to get hit with a null follow-up. You can't deny his follow-up. He's going to survive. He's going to retreat back with Kanto. He's going to get danced again, most likely, or at least set up some Wings of Mercy nonsense that's just going to completely steamroll your team because your near-save tank failed to take care of them at the end of the day.
We'll see this
As
through.
for the range tanks, it's a bit different.
At your command.
I'd say that with range tanks, as long as you're not using a green far save, you're probably fine. and the only exception to that is pretty much Ascended Fjorm.
They're wide open.
You can probably get away with using Ascended Fjorm, but you cannot really get away with using any of the other far saves. I can't see it, especially with the presence of Dual Crom. Dual Crom makes green armors very sad.
Shush!
Looks like it's
All
my
of them.
turn. This way? I see.
He doesn't need Deadeye. He can just bust through all of them. There maybe you could do something like a Fallen Shield build with like Distant Counter, Dragon Seal, or Fallen Shield with Ascended Fjorm or something. I don't think so though. I don't think that's gonna work. Personally, I think that's
I do not
just
know.
screws over the rest of your
This
matchups.
way?
So a far save Ascended Adune or far save Brave Hector is still very good right now.
We'll see this through.
Absolute great units to still be using in this time of day. Brave Ephraim is pretty good against Brave Seliph, but he does... Sorry, not Brave Ephraim, Winter Ephraim. Winter Ephraim is pretty good against Brave Seliph, but again, as I mentioned, you will likely run into Windsweep variants of Brave Seliph, and then Brave Ephraim, or Winter Ephraim, sorry, does pretty much nothing in that case. So, yeah, pretty suffering there.
At your command. So fun!
Not so loud. This way? I see. Not so Looks
loud.
like it's my turn.
Quiet down. I do not know. We'll see this through.
Loving the YouTube setup, thanks. All of the Twitch stuff doesn't apply here, so we're just really running some basic layout like I just started streaming. But the reality is I just started. This is not planned. I'm just kind of hanging out here.
At your command.
I'm with you. Looks like it's my turn. This way? Choose your path. Not so loud.
We'll see this through.
This way?
Are we switching to YouTube? No, Twitch is just having some server issues for me for connecting. I thought to say this was the first and last YouTube stream ever, but we are hanging out here for now. I think we're good. Stamina's done. I want to put that on the board. Okay. I don't have like any of the bots here. I don't really have any notifications or anything like that. So we're just keeping it pretty simple. It's gonna be my message right there on the blackboard, or yeah, the blackboard. All right, so we're gonna just jump into AR, and I can show you guys hopefully a good match with BK and Air. I had a lot of fun with this yesterday, so let's see how it goes.
Lovely.
Okay, so we will get 2 AR games, even though I don't need to. I could technically get away with 1 AR game, but we will play 2 AR games. And I'm going to try to use my BK air comps so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There are some bad matchups, though I don't think that these ones are the bad matchups. Whoa, speed preempt. Okay. +8, +6, +1, +2. Okay. So we have a +10 Byleth with speed preempt and bonus doubler. This is probably a great example to see whether Air can tank something like this. But on top of that, we also have something like not Brave Erica, Legendary Erica here versus BK. So we're gonna see how that works out too, especially since she does hit pretty hard. So this is going to be great to see how my tank team plays against this. It's not really optimal for me to like use my Air and BK comp into this. It's easier to like Gale Force it or even use Summer Edelgard. Like I could definitely Summer Edelgard this team pretty easily. And I could probably even Gale Force it. But I really want to showcase the power of this comp with BK and Air. And I honestly want to test out like their potential, so I'm gonna end up using them for sure. Both running attack speed 04, which makes sense. So anyways, we're gonna use this team with Uller here, since Uller provides extra speed. And she also has enough attack and speed to soak off any of the Bright Shrine debuffs off of Black Knight. So yeah, let's jump into it.
Know your place.
I have full 7 ladders, so I'm not really worried if we don't win the combat checks, but it definitely is a good test to see
Death's caress.
just how good my units
the
stack up.
glimmer of life.
I don't see any Bright Shrines, but we do have Yoon with a 48 res. That 48 res shouldn't hit Air post buffs, but it will hit BK. So that tells me that I likely want to try to avoid Chaos Named if possible. Yeah, we'll try to just tank out everything and see how it goes. Start off turn 1. Ideally, we buff up. We buff up defense tactic on BK. It doesn't look like there's any dragons besides Ninian, so that doesn't matter. The res tactic is less important. The res tactic hitting air should be pretty good though. We're not running any sort of panic effect, so I can't really stop Violet from getting some massive amount of stats here. It looks like he's going to get 9, 15, 21, 24 speed, 29 extra speed. Alright, so Byleth is going to be super fast. And I don't really know if my air can actually compete with that. But here's the thing. Air has a massive amount of res. Air is sitting somewhere close to most likely 60 to 70 res. So despite the amount of speed that Byleth might be getting here, I don't expect him to hit very hard at all. Alright, so ideal positioning is just throwing air here and then having everyone set up nearby to provide the perfect formation. Again, we want to hit the attack speed tactics on our 2 carries, and the rest don't really matter as much. Looking at the attack speed tactic though, do we need Uller to get hit by them? I think we do. Is there a Bright Shrine? No, there isn't a Bright Shrine, so it's not so important then. We don't need Uller to do it. Can air tank that Byleth? I don't know, but it's a good test. It's honestly a good test. I feel like I've been pretty impressed with how air has been doing. So, yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. The Menace here actually hurts air quite a bit. So I don't expect her to win the speed stat versus Byleth. What's up, Andy? Still running air tank. No, this is kind of new, as of yesterday, actually.
Very well.
Alright, let's give this a go.
What is it?
This could very well just end up air crumbling, but I really want to test the limits here, so I'm okay with it.
Yes.
Here I go.
Ready. Good morning. Pleasant dreams.
Dull Ranged is a pretty decent substitute to use on air, I feel. It might actually be better than the Trace in a lot of scenarios.
Explain.
Explain.
Yes.
Okay, so the second thing here is whether we want to use
I do not object.
Ash in this position for the extra 4 attack. If we do that though, BK will get hit with Sabotage Res, but that doesn't really matter. We don't really care if he gets hit by that. There's nobody except Ninian who's going to matter for that. The Sabotage Attack, now that can be a problem. I don't think we want BK getting hit with Sabo Attack. Yeah, we probably don't want him
Truly?
getting hit with that Sabo attack.
Lord Asker, guide us.
So we're gonna just keep Ash away in that case.
Truly?
Yeah, we'll keep her here. Alright, let's see how it goes. I'm pretty confident BK does fine here. I'm not so confident in air. Well, let's see. Let's see what it is. She may very well blow up. Or surprise us.
For a new tomorrow.
And she's got it. Let's go. That was literally max Byleth. That was literally max Byleth. Ooh. Hell targets rest? Yeah, we don't care.
I'd like to help.
Here it comes!
Give your all.
And there we go. That's a clean, simple game. Thanks to Air.
Death's caress.
Did anyone see how much attack Air actually was getting there? Like plus attack?
The glimmer of life. Yes.
It is decided.
Death's caress. The glimmer of life. Fly, Livia.
Well, she's getting 24 here. 38? Yeah, I'd love to see it, man. Love to see it.
Onward.
Maybe this way. Good dreams are born. Yes.
Thanks, this being YouTube, you can just go back a few seconds. Finally, some luxuries.
It will be done. Very well.
I do not object.
If that was dull range, Air Byleth would be taking. That's true. That's true. You can't always bank on them having something like bonus doubler, though.
Death's caress.
Understood.
The glimmer of life.
Also, Trace is fairly useful for other things. Like just hit and run. I could do a lot of hit and runs with Air, some snipes and such. But HP IV, like the Ascended HP IV, just seems really good. So, kind of looking forward to that.
Ready. Good morning.
Here I go.
Yes. Explain.
Explain.
Maybe this way.
Onward.
Ready. Pleasant dreams.
Yeah. Dull range should
It is
have its
decided.
moments. I think it's like the
Yes.
budget skill it would use here.
Death's caress.
Because the build is fairly premium at the end of the day. Like, not a lot of people are going to have this, but the beauty is that everyone can long-term build up to this. So, everything you see here, except I guess the attack speed rain, is achievable long-term. Like, you can save up to spark airs through multiple banners. You can get attack res unity from... Actually, she has it. She comes with it. What the heck am I talking about? So the attack speed rain is like the only thing here that's like not easy to get. But the AD far trace comes from codes, and that's pretty much the only thing that's premium here. And like dull range will end up being good in a lot of cases. So
What is it?
yeah. The BK build, on the other hand, I didn't expect this one to be this good, but it really does just sim extremely well. I honestly didn't expect this build to be as good as it is, but it does sim really well.
It will be done.
It helps a lot that Air being the range tank also comes with attack speed rain, so she helps out BK quite a bit with that speed. Disruptive Sky not better on her? I don't have it, but it probably is. The special at the end of the day doesn't really matter, I think. If anything, maybe something like Noontime is good. Alright, let's see if we can get an Encore. So I see an Alm there. I'm not really worried about anything else. I think the Alm is probably a good test to see whether she can tank it. I think she will, though. I think she shouldn't have a problem with this. If you could, would you get a speed version of Far Trace to meet the speed check of the weapon? Yeah, like attack speed, Far Trace might actually be optimal. She doesn't, I don't feel like she struggles too much with getting kills, but, to be fair, AD Far Trace did secure a kill versus that Violet that we just saw. Whereas if I was using the AS Far Trace, she would have missed the kill. So, goes to show you how little of a difference those kind of scenarios can be. I think A Hilda is a good support for this strat. Doesn't Hilda have like more defense than Air? Anyways, I'm fairly certain that oh, Southist fans, I'm sorry. Oh, this is something. Anyways. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Air beats this. There's no infantry pulse to pre-charge his Lunar Flash too, so it should be okay. He is quite speedy though. He does have like 69 speed. Nice in chat. Yep, another good test to see how well the combo does. Violet support might be ideal here for the extra speed. So I could stack Violet and Nipple instead of using Polar. Because I could use both and that would really bring up air speed enough to likely not take too much damage. BK is just going to steamroll this whole team, so I don't really think I need Oler here. But buffing up air might be the play. So we'll use Violet then as support in this case.
Good morning.
Understood.
We likely want to knock out the Panic Manor this time, because I don't want to get panicked on speed. But, maybe I want to one-shot him. So getting hit by the Panic might be beneficial to one-shot him. Let's have pizza with anchovies. Yeah, I've seen Air like reach some insane level of attack before, so it might seem pretty unlikely that she could just one-shot Ulm, considering he has a 93 bulk. Is he bonus? It's not bonus, right? Is he bonus? It seems kind of high. It just seems like, yeah, there's just very high stats. So it's a plus 10, it's not even plus 10, it's just very stacked. Anyways, he's very bulky, 97 bulk. I was looking at res for some reason. I think Air can actually achieve that sort of attack stat. Especially if she's getting hit with attack speed menace and she gets hit with panic manner. I'm kind of leaning towards that then. So I probably didn't even need Violet here. But yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try just massive attack stat buff. We don't want to buffer with defense tactic then, so I don't get that panicked. There's a little extra benefit here, which is this unit deals damage equal to 25% of the foe's defense, right? Well, we don't have a defense stat. Sorry, all. The other problem though is we can't get wind sweep. So if I can just break his wind sweep check, then we could probably one-shot him back. That's what we're checking for. So I do actually have to calc this then. I do actually have to calc it. Getting 8 speed from our weapon. We're gonna get 6 from Peony. Yeah, so I probably have to knock out the Panic Manor if this is gonna work out. $53, 61, 65, 71, 72. Okay, Air has 72 speed. I can't afford to get panicked then, which means we're knocking out the Panic Manor. This is going to be a situation where the trace ends up being fairly useful.
Maybe this way.
Leave it to me.
So we end up shoving here.
The glimmer of
We
life.
take out the Panic Manor. We check for Kanto control. There's no Kanto control.
Yes.
Break the Panic Manor and then trace back. I mean, you could technically dance to reposition as well, but those are small situations where I can appreciate the trace effect.
Lord Asker, guide us.
Yes. It is decided.
Truly?
Here I go.
Truly? I see. It will be done.
Lord Asker, guide us.
Understood.
Getting hit by a res debuff. Do we even care? Probably not.
The glimmer of life.
We're gonna put air over here.
Onward.
Truly? I see. Leave it to me.
But it's gonna be some tricky positioning. We also have this bolt tower, but I think we can completely ignore it.
Explain.
It will be done.
Death's caress.
So in terms of ideal positioning,
Understood.
looks like we can put BK here.
Here I go.
Yeah, we'll just get BK here and we'll engage on turn 3. Faye is a little bit annoying because she might stall out the game, so maybe if we can engage this turn that would be better.
I do not object.
But the positioning's a bit tricky because we need to take advantage of everyone.
The glimmer of life.
I need air. Oh, we are getting hit with the speed menace. Okay. Does that matter?
Yes.
Air says yes. So let's recalc this. Because again, Alm does have 69 speed and he does have a wind sweep effect.
Death's caress.
If he procs off that wind sweep effect, we could be dead.
The glimmer of life.
So let's check again. 8 speed, 55,
Yes.
59,
Truly? I see.
65,
Good morning.
68.
Understood.
She has 69 speed.
Yes.
The beauty here is Alm is getting hit with the attack speed range, so we should have more speed than him. Yeah, we're just gonna max range bait this and just deal with Alm, but not anybody else.
The glimmer of life.
So that requires us to go here.
Leave it to me.
There is a sabotage res, that doesn't really matter.
It is decided.
Truly?
Yes.
Onward.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're just dealing with Alm here. That's it.
Maybe this way. Lord Asker, guide us.
We will
Understood.
swap like that. Any rallies? No rallies. Okay.
Here I go.
Swap like this.
Explain.
Ready.
We'll put Peony adjacent to air. Should be fine.
Good morning.
And then nipple one space up.
Good dreams are born.
Yes. It is decided.
It is decided. Alright, so I've not really taken this matchup before, but I'm pretty sure Eric can also do it.
I do not object.
Let's see how it goes.
Truly?
Understood.
Clean. So clean.
Yes. The glimmer of life.
Alright, so at this point we're gonna get a bunch of BK quotes, so let me know what your predicted BK quote in chat is. You're more likely to hit it than not, because we're about to get spammed with them. So yeah, BK quotes in chat.
Death's caress.
Let's go.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna attack here. I'm just gonna let air chill.
I do not object.
Onward. Understood.
It will be done.
Lord Asker, guide us.
Yes.
Maybe this way. Pleasant dreams.
BK's quote, like game is top tier.
I do not object.
There's still not many characters in the game that have
Truly?
such nice quotes in this game. Just nipple support should be fine here. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's go. That's pretty shocking. Peaky pretty thick.
Will you survive?
Oh, barely survives.
You won't suffer.
Will you survive?
I don't think she will.
The glimmer of life.
So just stay there and have some more Will You Survive gaming. Gotta also think about the plot soon.
Explain.
Here I go.
Good morning. Ready. good dreams are born.
Please predict in chat how much damage you think Siltus is gonna do.
Leave it to me. Truly, I see.
I do not object.
Understood.
She's refined.
Onward.
I'm a low-res unit. What could go wrong?
Give your all. Kah! Will you survive?
That's canon.
Here I go.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually have BK take on Faye as well, because why not?
Lord Asker, guide us.
So this needs a refine. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm gonna get this pot in the corner there. Best way to do it is probably with Niffle.
Death's caress.
And we are on turn 5, and I'd like to, if possible, bait out the chicken here, but it's probably not happening.
Understood. Here I go.
Yes.
It will be done.
Yes,
Explain.
it is decided.
Yeah, we'll go hit that with Niffle.
Death's caress.
Onward.
I do not object. Good morning. The glimmer of life. Maybe this way.
And they have like one more enemy phase against Faye.
Ready. Yes. Death's caress. Good morning. Yes. Ready.
So probably want to... Yeah, probably get Pilot here.
Pleasant dreams.
Leave it to me.
Honestly, I can't explain to you guys why Sophis turned out the way she did. It's kind of weird to me. Couldn't tell you.
Truly, I see. It will be done.
The glimmer of life.
Leave it to me.
So I have one turn here to enemy phase Faye, and then I have to kill her in player phase, or she dies in the enemy phase, which I don't think she does. She might. No. No, I don't think she does, because she denies the follow-up, so yeah, I don't think she dies. Life unending. Kind of a pain in the butt, now that I think about it.
Here I go.
Yeah, that hurts.
Truly, I see.
Explain.
Don't think we need the DR. Maybe.
Yes. Truly?
Ash does a pretty decent job. What are the trade-offs with, say, Slick Fighter and BK with Breath Seal? I don't recommend using any sort of auto follow-up type fighter skills with a speed stacked armor. I don't think that's a good idea. The biggest menace you'll see on air defense, if it hasn't already happened, and it hasn't yet, people haven't caught up on it, is a Brave Zelf. And to beat Brave Zelf, you need a near saver or a melee tank with a lot of speed.
Lord Asker, guide us.
So Ash doesn't really get there.
Understood.
BK definitely gets there. So this build surprisingly does well because it shuts off Zelf's extra speed bonuses. You run the speed res form to have enough res to challenge Medius. He actually gets enough res. Like BK reaches like 50-60 res with the saves, the close defense, the Alondite. Like that all adds up. Reaches like 50-60 res, so he competes with Medius, and the speed is what challenges Seliph, so you end up just killing him with a Black Luna into a kill.
Yes. It is decided.
Death's caress.
So maybe I do this without... It's gonna be a bit annoying, because I think BK is just gonna end up proccing Life Unending, and then like nothing happens, and like Phase just max out next turn as well. So that means I'd have to player phaser. Because in this case, like I would want the auto double, or I would want to be at low HP. In fact, we could do that.
Onward.
What does a lot of people having certain unit have anything to do with refined quality? Well, there's a little bit of correlation there between characters like Bjorn and Legendary Ike being pretty low quality heroes, being free. So that's why they're like not as good. Or like that's the correlation there. Not that I'm claiming that. Yeah, so I'm a bit worried here because
The glimmer of life.
Faye
I do not
might
object.
actually give us some trouble since she has that deny follow-up effect. And the condition is if foe's HP is greater than 75%, which it is. So
It will be done.
Here I go.
we'd likely bring her down to proc Life Unending, but she just ends up back at full HP. And then next turn we're in the same scenario with a turn 7 having to player face her and we end up losing. So what do we do to circumvent that? I think we want to take Tile versus her. That's probably what we want to do.
Truly?
So then that would look like something like this. The reason I think taking Tile is good is because I could actually use the Lightning Trap as a means to finishing out the game. Even if it did
Understood.
like 10 damage, it
Yes.
should be enough to get a kill.
Lord Asker, guide us.
So we put Ash here.
Death's caress. The glimmer of life.
We do this.
Onward.
Leave it to me.
Maybe this way.
Explain.
Good morning.
Then we do this. We're not gonna get the pod here because
Good dreams.
we don't have a
boy.
kill on her. So
Here I go.
Truly?
oh, actually we do have the pot, but maybe I want nipple support.
Truly? I see.
We do have that as an option.
Yes.
I
It is decided.
don't think we.
Explain.
I don't think we get the pot, so we are just gonna. We're not gonna get the kill, so we're not gonna go for the pot this turn.
Yes.
We'll get it next turn. That way I can just use Niffle here. Wait, what? 12 times 2? Where am I getting the double? Is she dead? Okay. I was actually worried there. Byleth. Byleth.
It will be done.
Right, right. Okay, that was pretty close. I almost screwed myself there.
Understood.
It is decided.
I totally forgot I had the Byleth.
Here I go.
He could have probably got the kill then there.
Truly? I see.
Alright, we win. Let's get the pot.
I do not object.
Understood.
Yes.
So I'm kind of more leaning towards
Here I go.
another BK quote.
Death's caress.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards another BK quote.
The glimmer of life.
Any BK gamers? We got another BK quote?
Ready.
Explain.
Leave it to me.
Yes. Maybe this way.
Onward.
Death's caress.
I need to dance him. I'll hit the trap. It's not necessary, but I'll hit it. Of course, it's 50.
Understood. Onward.
Good morning.
Here I go.
Maybe this way. Pleasant dreams.
Alright, let's get a fool to end it.
Onward.
Yeah, Byleth, I almost forgot about that one. This BK might have killed there. GG.
Fool.
So good. Well, usually we record this on Twitch, and then I upload it to YouTube. But the thing is, I'm on YouTube right now, so I guess this is technically already uploaded, and I'm just gonna talk about Legendary Ninian right now on stream. Yeah, just gonna go pull up. We're gonna go pull up Legendary Ninian, the vid, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on that. Upload to Twitch. Nice. What happened to my orb count? What's wrong with my orb count? Why is that strange to you? Probably because you don't come to Twitch, I guess. So, the way I've changed my mentality when it comes to summoning is I spark on remix banners. So as a non-Pet Pass player, like an F2P, pure F2P, the best move for me is to get guaranteed progression from sparking banners that aren't Pet Pass exclusive. So it would be Mythic remixes, Legendary remixes. Therefore, sparking like Air and Duma and Thrasier, those are my most recent like sparks, for example, give my account a sort of progression that doesn't involve saving 1,000 orbs and then getting completely screwed on a Legendary or Mythic banner because I spend 1,000 orbs and get like 6 Pramimons, or I get like 5 Shenins and a single Corrin, or other disaster scenarios that have happened in the past that just have completely slowed my account to a crawl. So the idea here is to save enough orbs to just spark the banners that are most impactful for progression by guaranteeing the copies of units that way, as opposed to gambling 1,000 orbs and just hoping it works out. Now, I don't really suggest this method if you are Fed Pass or you do buy orbs, because then you can just kind of have more free will to go for what you want, which would just be like Fed Pass sparking like the legendary banner, like legendary Ninian coming up. Not necessarily Ninian herself, but whatever goals you have in mind that are specific to your account. Am I testing the waters for YouTube streaming? Nope. Servers are down on Twitch, so we're just here. That doesn't mean it's the last YouTube stream. Could very well be more. And there's plenty of people here who are definitely watching as like a YouTube viewer. That's totally cool. Just give me a moment to pull up the video, guys. Can say bye to Faf for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. Probably on Twitch, mind you. YouTube chat, say hi to Twitch. Yeah, except I don't have like the notice or the chat or anything integrated here on this particular layout. I don't even know if that's possible. I'm sure it is. But everything on this setup is laid out in a way that's for streaming on Twitch. So a lot of the extensions and whatnot are not here. Am I gonna stream on both Twitch and YouTube? I can't guarantee any of that stuff for now, guys. This is mostly just a unintended situation. It just kind of happened because Twitch servers are something I cannot connect to. All right, got the video online. If you guys are enjoying the content here on YouTube, you can always feel free to just press the like button. That always helps. You can also leave a comment after the live stream on what exactly you enjoyed from today's live stream, whatever you took from it. If you enjoyed the gameplay, the BK gaming, something like that. You know how these algos work, so the more you engage with the video, the more I know that you appreciate this sort of content, and I might just look at my analytics and make a return here on YouTube streaming. I can't guarantee I will or not, but if there's a demand for it, of course I'll be here. Occasionally. Maybe as like a bonus stream once in a while, something like that. I don't know. All right. So if you're new here, this is basically me just going over the video. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on the banner itself and of course the new unit. As with most banners, I want to preface this by saying that everyone has different goals in this game, so just because a unit is new doesn't mean you should pull for it. I don't necessarily hype up new units, that's not what I do. It's more or less just take an objective look at the unit, how powerful I think it is, where you might see it, and of course, how to deal with it. Simple stuff like that, but when it comes to must pulls in this game, there is not really any must pull. Everyone has different reasons for why they play this game, so don't feel baited by hype or new units in general. For me personally, it's an easy skip because I don't really care about new units for the most part. Like the rearms lift was a very good addition because it lets many players bank fodder and revive older units. It pretty much encouraged me to revitalize somebody like Black Knight, who I'm extensively using now, and it's making Light Season a lot of fun. So I really look forward to reviving some of my old characters, such as Summer Xander, maybe even build up Niles with like an arcane bow, a dagger for like Winter Cecilia. These are some really cool things I can look forward to through that. And then like the remix banners are very appealing for account progression for my account because of the because I'm not FatPass, FTP player, so I don't have access to that sort of thing. So what I'll do here is I'll take a look at a lot of this and get you guys in the know-how. So going forward, as many of you probably already know, legendary Ninian. She is a green dragon cav. So that makes her a second edition over Ymir, who Ymir is pretty impactful in my opinion. Water Season, and I believe it gets cut off here, but it should be res. I believe she's buffing res on her pair up, which is whatever. Being green in a mostly like blue centric season is pretty good for Ninian when it comes to like combat and just being annoying to stuff, such as legendary Crom and Dimitri, I guess. Of course, Fjorm goes even further down in the dust. So that notably is like the Water Season characters that come to mind. Yeah. She's not really going to be designed as a combat unit, as we'll see in a moment here, looking at her skill set. Looking at what we have, Blue Feud is probably the most impactful thing. She's very anti-blue, as you can see here, but her optimal kit, especially as an arena legendary, is not going to be focused on these skills. Like, they're probably going to get subbed out. You're likely, if you're, of course, playing arena and trying to optimize for arena, you're going to use stuff that optimizes your score. So if you end up using legendary Ninian as your core legendary in Water Season, then the B skill would likely be subbed out for either the Double Chill or a Dragon's Wrath 4 or whatever. And then Blue Feud would have to get subbed out for something else, which would be 300 SP. But the base kit will work pretty well, like in every other mode besides Arena. But in Arena, you have to sub these out and even use something like Distant Counter Dragon Seal, where she'll score really well. She scores extremely well out of the box. So obviously, recency being a recent unit, being a dragon, just means she's going to have a great advantage when it comes to the scoring situation. So first off, I'll start by looking at the weapon itself. Gives extra attack. This is kind of weird to me because all variants of Ninian, including Ninian, kind of like by her design, even by looking like Fallen Ninian, tends to have low attack. Like she's not supposed to be some monstrous unit. But because this has attack 3, that implies to me that she's probably going to have a high attack stat. That's usually what that means. When you look at a weapon and it has like speed 3 on it or res 3 on it, you can usually expect that unit to like be very min-maxed in that area, or at least very powerful, having a high stat there. So this is something different for Ninian, not something I would expect, but it is here. The second effect here is when she uses her dance, she's going to inflict defense res 6 on the nearest foes within 4 spaces of both the unit and target ally. So basically herself and whoever she's dancing, they're going to apply like a defense res 6 on anyone that's within 4 spaces. This can be pretty annoying, but it's not the worst thing. Like it's not guard, it's not something like giving dodge or no follow-up off a dance. It's just a debuff, so it's not really that big of a deal. Once we get into the rest of the kit, you'll see the more impactful stuff. So start of combat, if unit's HP 40%, she's getting an additional attack speed 6, very easy condition to have. And if she initiates combat, she's going to have a neutralize effects that prevents units follow-up attack. So it's like a self no follow-up effect, which is again pretty good. And if she initiates combat, has the weapon triangle advantage or penalties active on the foe, that enemy can't counterattack. That is where things get pretty annoying because that synergizes directly with her dance effect, but also she's just naturally going to annoy stuff like Legendary Crom and Dimitri, especially somebody like Dimitri, who is just not really wanting to get hit by res, and he's just not going to be able to counterattack. He can't run something like Null Sea Disrupt. So unfortunately, Dimitri as an arena unit is not having a good time here. Next up is the Dragon's Dance, which is probably the most impactful thing here. So she, of course, dances, but if it's used on turn 2 or forward, she also self-dances herself. And that is kind of, like, I want to say nuts or very good, because the self dance is only, I feel, replicated on somebody like Sane, who has that rally into self dance type effect. There's, of course, Change of Fate and Future Vision, which you can kind of also compare to this, but what makes this more impactful than those is that the unit that's dancing also gets an action on top of her action, which is very strong. So as a AR defense unit, as an AR offense unit, it's going to give multiple actions on not only herself, but the unit she's dancing. To make it like not abusable, of course, she's going to get isolation, and that, I guess, would prevent stuff like smiting her further in or engaging, whatever that might be. The effect itself can't be used for another 3 turns, and that means she's not always going to be self-dancing. It also can't be used on turn 1 to create some super pressure scenarios, but because she has the trace effect on her base kit, you can expect a lot of arena combat to revolve around her like dancing and then tracing back. That's usually how that works out, which can create a very annoying situation where on turn 2, obviously she's self-dance, unit will go even further, and then she follows up and dances another unit again, creating some very oppressive and annoying situations for Water Season, which already was one of the harder seasons to deal with because of Change of Fate and Legendary Crom being everywhere. But there's not really too much to say here. Obviously, she's going to be very good. She is the right color. She's a dragon, so she benefits from the dragon, the distant counter dragon seal. And as we can see here, yeah, she's stacked in attack and speed. So that's kind of weird for Ninian, but it is what it is. And because she has that legendary effect, she's going to score really well. Distant counter dragon seal, stacking like stuff like Dragon's Wrath. The only disadvantage, of course, for Arena is you are not going to be able to use the trace optimally until they come up with some level 4 trace skills instead.
What's your plan?
If you don't really know how that works, she, of course, dances Elliewood here.
Do this.
Take this strength.
And then they're both active, which is great. More actions make stuff like Gale Force teams really good. And you don't have to rely on, like, let's say, a dual hindrance on the enemy team, completely screwing everything up. All right, so that pretty much covers Ninian. Again, I don't really say just because something's super powerful that you should be summoning for it. That's just going to be totally inefficient orb usage. And you should think about whether you care about Arena and you need a Water Season core unit, or Ninian is potentially your favorite unit, and this is like the first chance. Like if you have Fed Pass, to like spark her and then start building her up onto future banners. The banner itself, though, is looking like this. So with the banner, we have, again, blue and new units. IS tends to do this often, where they're going to make the blue or whatever the new unit share with good stuff. So in this case, we have, of course, Ninian, legendary female Byleth, and Note. Again, Note is still very powerful. I think she's still a top tier AR defense unit. She's also very good in something like summoner duels. So the share between Note, Byleth, and Ninian is pretty good, but once we see the reruns, this could pan out to be even better for future Ninians. If you have Fed Pass, of course, then you should really just be looking at your own perspective on what characters here mean the most to you for summoning. And really, it really just comes down to that at the end of the day. If you look at, let's say, red here, we have Lilina, Regan, and Lilith. So Lilina's a bit fallen off in scoring, I would say. Regan's pretty good as an Astra, but then Lilith doesn't really provide any sort of account progression, which you could say the same thing for Colorless with Teen and Florina being there. But Mila at least is like a light mythic that can give you some merges there. Oh, sorry, male Byleth. Sorry, guys, I was looking at, I just assumed Ninian was blue. So, sorry, my mistake there. Green is the one that Ninian is with Xander and male Byleth. So, but blue is Byleth, Note, and who's the other blue here? What? Byleth, Note, and oh, Fallen Ninian. Fallen Ninian just kind of snuck in there for me. I didn't even see that one. I totally got baited by that. Okay, I just, for some reason, I just assumed that this was the same character. It is the same character, but one was like Fallen. Okay, so blue is, yeah, not as appealing because of Fallen Ninian then. You got Fallen Lilith, you got Clarina, and you got Teen. So actually green ends up being the winner here between Violet, Xander, and Ninian, where you're having just legendaries, and that just provides you consistent progression. Though I don't think that blue is necessarily too bad, as long as you're not merging up like Fallen Ninian, getting like many copies there. So this is like always the risk with legendary mythic banners, and one of my biggest pain points, where I'd save like 1,000 orbs and I just end up getting the character that doesn't really provide much for the account. That's my biggest warning to everyone who kind of goes into these banners. Either way, Fed Pass or not, sparking is the key to getting your account progression. Okay guys, that pretty much covers my opinion here on Ninian. So gonna see what happens going forward, and probably make some sort of future tier list where Ninian stands. And I'm not actually going to be live for any further. I'm going to go, and it's getting pretty late here. It's past midnight, so I'm going to be getting to bed. And I hope you guys here on the YouTube crowd did enjoy the random YouTube stream. There's nothing really to upload because, again, I just covered Ninian in this stream. I will be back on Twitch tomorrow, so if you do, as long as the servers are working, if you haven't been there, you can always get the exact same stream experience there. And there may be future YouTube streams, but I can't guarantee any of that. Time to get to bed. Hope you all have a good rest of the day and good night. And yeah, if you want to support this, then the like button, leaving a comment, sharing the vid, the stream overall, building your own Black Knight. It's a good way to do it. Hope you all have a good rest of the day. Peace out, and good night.